Hi guys, I'm Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe. Today I'm here to give you a book review of In the Midst of Winter by Isabelle Allende. Now, Isabelle Allende is an author who I've heard so much about and I've been meaning to try one of her works for a long time, so when I got sent this review copy I could not say no. This particular book follows three characters whose storylines kind of come together. The first character is Richard, who has lived in South America but he's moved to America. He's an old lecturer and he's kind of just living his life to the bare minimum. And then you've got Lucia, who is from Chile. She's had a hard life, a hard past, but she's here in America and she's trying to live her life. She's also a lecturer at the same university that Richard works at. And the third character is Evelyn, who grew up in Guatemala. She's quite young, she's an illegal immigrant in America, and something happens that she gets very scared about and runs away from where she's staying. And what happens is Richard is driving his car in the snow and he accidentally crashes into Evelyn and he calls Lucia for help, and that's how these three characters come together. Now this one is a very character-driven adult fiction read and it grew on me so much. The main reason I wanted to read this book is because it shows more about South American history. For the IB I studied history high level and we studied Mexico's history and we studied Chile's history and Cuban history. And I knew that Chilean history was going to be part of this book, and it was actually to do with the dictator and the political situation that I had studied in the past, so I loved getting to know more about that historical side of things. It's a very important historical event, and the fact that the government still hasn't revealed all that happened and went down shows how terrible it really is. And as well as that, we got to know more about living life in Guatemala, which is a South American country I know nothing about. It was all new to me and I was introduced to the lifestyle that some people live there. And of course, we're in America. You know America, it's all over the news all the time, world superpower. I think those three settings were just so important to this book, and I really appreciated how it dug into the history and dealt with real facts but also made it fictional. Never once did I feel like I had an info dump or too much information. I was reading and I was learning, but I was still enjoying the story. Also, the characters grew on me as we went along. I thought it would be a bit hard for me to connect to these characters because I'm not an adult for starters like nearly all of them are, and I'm not divorced like Richard and Lucia are, and I haven't had a very difficult or troublesome past in the way that Evelyn has. But they all did grow on me. They've all been through so many different struggles and they're never all blameless, and just seeing their history slowly unveiled as they go along this journey and seeing how it grew them all closer together, it just warmed my heart so much, because I do believe that in the world people who need each other find each other, and there's just so much healing that all of them had to do. And even though they don't develop so much from the present day storyline, from when the car crashes to when they solve the issue of the car crash, you can see how much they've developed from their past to the last moment in the book, and that development arc for all three of them was just... my heart was so warm. I feel like Isabelle Allende, even though this was not like a fast-paced suspenseful book, the plot still wove together very nicely. I still did want to know how the end would go, because it's not going to be an easy end or a straightforward end. I mean, it starts with a car crash, but then it turns into some really crazy illegal stuff that you need to have a conclusive ending to see how it goes. I was always intrigued. I wanted to know what was going to happen next, and as all three of their storylines weave together, so does the plot. And she just mixes the character storylines with the plot storylines so well that it was almost seamless, and I just really appreciated that. The writing style was very straightforward. It was straightforward, but at the same time it's quite descriptive, but it was never over descriptive. She knows when to add in descriptions and when it's entirely unnecessary. So she does that balance very well, and yes, you do get all three of their perspectives. Because they're all from very different cultures, you'll never really feel confused, or having three perspectives won't be something challenging to keep up with. It'll just read so easily. And the last thing I'll say is that even though the first half was a little bit slow, the second half really did pick up and make this a good story. So if you're someone who is interested in culture, who is interested in South American history, and who is interested and appreciates character-driven stories, I would just highly recommend this Isabelle Allende book. And yes, I definitely have to read more of her works. If you've read her work and you know a good one that you can recommend to me, please leave it down in the comment section below. I'd also love to know which culture you would identify with and which culture you would also like to know more about, so drop that in the comment section down below as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and don't forget, hit the notification bell if you want to be updated every time I have a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye!